Ouch, right. As we mentioned, All-Star starters announced on Thursday. Steph Curry, James Harden, the two Western Conference backcourt spots in the new voting system that included players and media for the first time, along with fans. They'll join frontcourt players Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, and Anthony Davis. You might notice a big name missing. Russell Westbrook left off after losing the tiebreaker, which was a fan vote to Curry and Harden.
I mean, it's a big storyline just because, like you said, those two guys are doing amazing things this year. And there's only two spots that you can fill. So, unfortunately, somebody was going to be left off. I've been on the other side of that, 4 years ago, and just that's how it goes. But the fact that I get to obviously, like I said, represent my team in that game and to be able to start is something that I definitely appreciate.
The Thunder's Enes Kanter didn't appreciate his teammate getting snubbed. He did some research, tweeted why he thinks Westbrook should have been included. Triple doubles for the All-Star starters combined 19. Russ 21. Nobody deserves to start of the All-Star game over Russ. All right, so let's break down this All-Star voting with David Jacoby, Jalen Rose from Jalen and Jacoby. So, guys, the obvious, the head scratcher is Russell Westbrook. So here's what happened. He was tied in the media and player vote, but when it came down to the fan vote, Steph Curry and James Harden beat him out. Mistake?
Absolutely. You know who I blame? You.
What, fans?
Y'all.
Fans?
No,
media?
Media members
Right.
who have not stood on the table for decades, allowing the NBA in its glorious All-Star game to allow the fans to pick the starters. I know the players get 25% of the vote now.
Right.
I know the media gets 25% of the vote. But it doesn't matter if the fans still get 50%.
And that's the thing. It's more the breakdown. It's like, what we've decided? We've decided the fans' input is important. We've decided the media's important. We've decided the players' input important.
Absolutely.
Why not split it up 33%?
All right, we're going to get to the methodology in just a minute. But what do you think about Westbrook not being there?
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy.
So you want Westbrook in over
Curry.
Harden or Curry?
Curry, absolutely
over
over
Curry.
Curry.
So it should be Westbrook and Harden, you agree?
I do, and I'm a voter, actually.
Okay.
And I sent in my ballot, and I had to ask for them to send it back to me so I could do it again.
Right.
Because initially...
Who'd you vote for? Tim Kirk just spilled it out for the Hall of Fame.
Initially, I had Curry in as well. And then I thought about something. Yes, he is playing on the best team in the NBA.
Right.
But he is not having the best season at the guard position in the NBA. That'll be the guy that's averaging a triple-double. Okay. And the other guy, James Harden, who's basically flirting with one, putting up numbers that we haven't seen since the Big O. Has a chance to lead the league in points and assists since Tiny Archibald. Those two guys deserve to be the Western Conference backcourt.
The only way this could have gone right is if we had Westbrook starting and Zaza starting. I want to see Westbrook and Zaza work together.
Zaza Pachulia, because if it were left to the fan vote, he would be a starter for the Western Conference. There may be some hacking involved.
Oh, wow.
Swings elections.
Swings elections.
Been there.
All right. Also, Dwayne Wade and Joel Embiid also popular picks for the fans, but once you put in the media and player vote, they didn't make it. Now, it seems like they want fan involvement, but they also want some informed voting. Is this the right mix? You already said you don't think so. Is this the right mix? 50% fans, 25% current players, 25% media.
It should be 0% fans voting on the starters. How about they vote for the 12th man?
Right.
Not the starters, because you got to remember something. This is how players define their legacy. This is how they negotiate contracts.
Right.
They talk about all-star appearances. They talk about how many times they were a starter.
Hold up.
This sways ultimately how we...
I've heard this argument so many times.
Preach to me.
Oh, it's their legacy. It's based on legacies. Do you know what they say? 7-time All-Star. Do you know what they don't say? 5-time All-Star, 2 times All-Star starter.
Right.
No one ever makes that distinction.
Because you're not watching the games. This year, when you're watching the All-Star game, it's going to be like you're watching a military jacket. And you're going to see all of the players have their badges of honor carrying those.
I do like that.
And one of those is the guys that start versus the guys that don't start.
Okay, so it affects their warm-up jackets, not their legacy.
All right. So, Westbrook, we assume, is going to be a reserve. Over under on how many shots he's going to take once he gets in there.
How about this? I got a shot scenario for you for Russell Westbrook.
All right.
He calls himself, and rightfully so in my opinion, not talking to Kevin Durant. There will be 4 Golden State Warriors on the All-Star team.
Right.
The 5th player on the court with them at different times of that basketball game will be Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see if he passed to any of those guys. How about that?
No, it's going up. It's going up.
It's definitely
They'll make up during All-Star weekend.
Catch him radio, TV, and podcast, Jalen and Jacoby. All right, here's a look side by side with Westbrook and the two guards who beat him out. Westbrook has the edge in scoring and rebounding over both, and he averages more assists than Curry. Westbrook also leads the NBA in player efficiency rating at better than 29.
So I have two thoughts on this All-Star Game starter situation. One half is like the dumbest thing I have ever heard. And the other half, it just makes sense. The East makes sense. Kyrie Irving, Jimmy Butler, Giannis, DeMar DeRozan, and then there's LeBron. Who doesn't love him? Apparently no one, the leading vote getter at nearly 1.9 million votes. He'll start his 13th straight All-Star game, tied for the most all-time. He also started the game against the Suns, too. Cavs finally back home after a 6-game road trip. And a pretty bad loss out west to the Warriors. No Kevin Love, back spasms, but the good news is Kyrie and LeBron, they're decent. Off a Tristan Thompson block, Richard Jefferson to Kyrie. Just ridiculous. The Cavs are plus 15 with Irving on the floor in the first half. He would lead all scorers, by the way, 26 points, and Cleveland jumps out to a 10-point lead. Then LeBron.
LeBron James will be in the attack mode all the way to the rim.
He absolutely crushed it. LeBron James. This is a burn. This is a play. This is LeBron James going to have a down.
So he forced the turnover and then did that. Cleveland with 16 points off of 13 Phoenix turnovers. They're up big. More James in the fourth. Cleveland leading. Puts PJ Tucker just, that's not good. Spin cycle. The best part of this, though, is Tucker's reaction. He's like, what? The score is 93-76. Cavs looking to ice the game. LeBron, 21 points, 15 assists, and just a rebound shy of a triple-double. Cavs now 30-11, same record as they had at this point last year. By the way, 10 of LeBron's 15 assists came on made threes. That's the third time this season he's assisted on 10 threes. The rest of the NBA has combined for just 2 of those games, though it was all done by one player. James Harden has both the others.
Well, meantime, there they are, the starting lineup for the Western Conference All-Stars. One person missing from that group of 5, Russell Westbrook. I mean, Curry, Davis, Leonard, Kevin Durant, James Harden, you can't go wrong there, except the guy who's standing up over there, Lisa, he's having an historic season. He is the MVP. There's no conversation here. How in the world is he not starting in the All-Star game?
You know, and everybody likes to point out that it's a 50% fan vote, and we get that. But for me, it's a joke. It's a joke. I mean, the guy that is running away with the MVP, in my opinion, a lot of votes certainly for James Harden, as they should be, but this guy is averaging a triple-double, and the numbers that he's put up are astronomical. And then for this to happen, my first impression was it's a joke.
By the way, he has the Thunder currently a playoff team. They lost Kevin Durant.
By himself.
Almost really by himself. It's insane, and he should be in the starting lineup there, but it's just going to be something else to fuel Russell Westbrook as if he needed yet another chip on his shoulder. Now, here you go. Here's the breakdown. The All-Star voting broken down into fan, player, and media votes. Westbrook finished first among both the media and the players, as he should. But he finished third in the fan vote. And as Lisa mentioned, the fan vote's worth 50%, and so that goes against him. And it's not like Steph and James Harden are poor choices, but they've left out the guy who's the MVP. Here's Steph.
I mean, it's a big storyline just because, like you said, those two guys are doing amazing things this year. And there's only 2 spots that you can fill. So, unfortunately, somebody was going to be left off. I've been on the other side of that, 4 years ago, and just that's how it goes. But the fact I get to obviously, like I said, represent my team in that game and to be able to start is something that I definitely appreciate.
Curry's numbers, he supports himself. Finished with 1.85 million fan votes, most amongst Western Conference guards. Meanwhile, Westbrook with 1.58 million votes, good enough for 3rd place, but unfortunately not good enough to earn that starting spot in the All-Star game. It is ludicrous. Yes, you're sitting there going like, what the heck? It is true. He was snubbed as an All-Star starter.
And I get it that there are far bigger things to get outraged about, but we're talking about a guy who's having an historic season. right? Every night it's triple-double, and he's, as we talked about, doing it almost by himself there in Oklahoma City. He should be on the All-Star team. When we're boxed into going 2 guards, 2 forwards, and a center, that messes things up altogether. But Russell Westbrook will you'll get a trophy at the end of the season, I think.
Well, I mean, you have the game for a reason. It's to raise up the best players at their best at their respective position, and that's not what's happening.
Yep.
I think it's a joke.
Joining us now on SportsCenter, Hollywood star Vin Diesel. Got a new movie out.
Yes, I do, man.
Triple X, The Return of Xander Cage. So the last movie in this franchise was 2005. So
That's right.
12 years.
That's right.
Since that last one. What went into the timing?
Well, to be 100% honest,
We require that, 100%. Go ahead.
Okay, well, since honesty is a mandate here at the Sports Center, I'm going to be as clean as possible. It took me till 2009 to decide to make another one.
Okay.
And that was after the success of Fast and Furious, which was the 4th installment.
And you had 18 of those now, right?
I've had at least 18 of those. We are on number 8, and it shows no sign of stopping. But I decided in 2009 to actually return to the character, and then it took another 7 years to actually realize it, to find the moment, to find a window of time to actually do Triple X. And I needed it now, ironically, in my life, more than I ever thought that I needed it. Part of the fun of doing this movie is practicing your skateboarding, getting out in the ocean on a jet ski and doing jumps and all the things that a thrill seeker likes to do.
You said making movies is therapeutic. I saw that this one especially was therapeutic because Paul Walker had been one of your co-stars in the Fast and Furious series, and of course he died tragically 3 years ago. I drive by the place where he died. I play golf in Valencia.
Wow.
And I drive by there and I think of him and think of the cast whenever it happens. And so why was this movie therapeutic for you?
Well, to go back to filming Furious 7 was so hard for me emotionally because it felt like I was going to be going to a 5-month funeral because I couldn't get it out of me. It was too close to home.
Right.
And so because of how traumatic that was, it was a real difficult time in my life because I had Ron Meyer, the head of Universal, call me, and he knew that I was in pain and that it was such a traumatic experience for me. So he said, Vin, if you want to, we can get the insurance for this film and not have the movie come out. And you wouldn't have to go back to set to complete the movie. And it was something I had this weight on my shoulders. No one in the world knew that I was carrying the weight of this decision, whether to complete my brother's last film and ultimately celebrate his legacy, or take the insurance and not have to face that heartbreak of going to a set without him. So, and then he said, but it would be it would be a shame because this movie is so good and your brother Pablo is so good in it. So I ultimately made the call and went back to film and committed to making it the best movie that I possibly could. But not without it taking a toll on me personally. So when I had the opportunity to do Triple X, I needed desperately to be able to laugh and smile on screen, and I needed to be able to be playful and have fun, and that's what Triple X is. It's when people go see Triple X this weekend, and everybody will go see Triple X this weekend.
That's an order.
That's an order. You're gonna have fun. You're just gonna have fun, and that fun is representative of the fun that we had on set making the movie.
All right, I'm sold. We're gonna go check it out. Triple X, The Return of Xander Cage, starring Vin Diesel, out on Friday. Check it out this weekend, Vin. Thanks for coming by.
My pleasure.
Great having you.
Anytime, yeah.